Hi, I'm with Nikki. I wanted to show you the do's and don'ts that I think work for introducing new pets to each other. First of all, you want to take them to a neutral area. This yard might look neutral. Hold on. This is a lot of room. But if you've already had one pet out here, they've been marking their territory. Oh, yeah, we're getting the rain now. Little drops. But anyways, this is not neutral because your dog or dogs have been marking their territory out here. So let's go inside. It's starting to rain. It's starting to rain, guys. Told you. This here is another area that is not a safe territory. Bring up all food dishes. I'm not going to right now, but we have water. Let me change this water. Hold on. So the feeding area is not neutral. That's where they eat. And Ruby has her dish and PJ has his. That's his travel dish. But anyways, they've gotten to know each other now, so it's okay. And after one eats from his dish and she's eaten from her dish, then they sometimes share. So I put neutral, like some of hers and some of his together, their remainder food, and then split it up and just let them, don't matter who eats what then. Okay. This here is about as neutral as it gets. There's a pretty open space. The table, if one of the animals is nervous, they could hide under the table. They can also sit up on the couch. There's the entryway right here. Oh, I think we're getting some thunder. And this whole open space. So, and it's far enough away from the food, but you want to take up all food. You want to take up all the food so that there's nothing to fight or argue about, okay? My room, any room, is like also not neutral territory because Ruby's classified her room as hers and mine. She did let PJ sleep there. He wanted to sleep on the floor. I put pillows down for him everywhere. He could sleep on the bed. He could sleep off of the bed. We even have a guest room he could have slept in. That's where his dad sleeps when he comes over. So this would be a nice neutral area. Hold on. You see how Ruby is, how she's a medium dog, but there's room right here. And if she got nervous, she could go up the stairs. And she knows how to get to her room. Now, everybody doesn't have a house like this, but you need to find some area. It could also be like the garage. Keep the door closed. And see, there's plenty of room for them to kind of sniff around, but you don't want the door to be open because, of course, then animals can get out. They could hide in corners if they wanted to, felt nervous about it. They could hide under shelves and stuff, so just be aware of that. But it's a big kind of an area if you have two dogs. This isn't really, this is really a neutral area because nobody's come to mark in this territory. You know what I mean? So be a good place for them to go. What's going on with my hair today? Oh, I've been outside. Hold on. So we have the kittens behind this door in the bedroom. And the dogs can sniff them from under the door. So I would open the door just a little bit to let Ruby sniff. And then we let her come in just a little bit, and then a little bit more, a little bit more. You don't want to just say, here's 2 cats in your home now, that she's pretty much been alone here. And then all of a sudden, here we got 2 babies. See, so like outside, when they have gotten to know each other, then let them go outside. And then, you know, see how she does not mind him being out there, because they've already gotten to know each other. When we first had them meet, it was on the stairwell of where we lived before, inside the house, not an apartment or something, but we had like a stairway. And I came down with Ruby, and there was like a little landing, not very big. And I sat down with her, and then our friend brought up PJ up to meet, because almost every place in that house, I'm not saying when they mark their territory that they necessarily have to pee. They've sat in places, they have their smell all over, you know, and they consider it their territory where they mark it with pee or not. And it's, when I say neutral, I mean like a place they haven't really established as theirs. You know, Ruby knows that it's kind of like central, you know, like what do they call it? Just a meeting place in that little living room, dining room area. So that's a good little place, because if we have the door to the room open, the kittens can know that they could go back in there. And they could hide under the bed. They could hide under the chairs or the table inside the dining room if they wanted to. We don't really plan on letting them go unattended or anything. Always be there for your pet's meeting so that they know that they can be, you know, safe or secure. You can jump in at any time that it's not going right. You never want to pick up a cat who's got its back raised and it's hissing and it's mad. You pick them up and they think they're being attacked by whatever it is. Okay? And you're going to get scratched to bits, basically. Thunder. That's planes, but we did have thunder. So the meeting with PJ and Ruby the first time, I thought it was going to go bad, but very soon they just kind of sniffed at each other. Then we just kind of let them down, and I released Ruby, and he let PJ go. And then they ran through the house together, and they were best friends forever. But yeah, you don't want to, you never want to pick up an animal who is intensely afraid or scared. Don't pick them up. Don't try to move them. bring the animal that's causing the fear or replace whatever's causing the fear with just peaceful. Take out, like if I brought in Ruby once and one of the kittens arched the back and started hissing, so I brought Ruby back out. I wanted the kitten to know that her raising her back, fluffing up, and hissing was creating that fear, even though Ruby was not afraid, that I brought her out and then replaced the fear with peacefulness. And I took Ruby out, closed the door, came back in, and then when she settled down, then I said, okay, it's all right, and I pet her and gave her some comfort. This is going to have to go on my YouTube because it just went over 10 minutes. Anyways, this video is about how to acclimate a new pet with pets that you already have established in your home. Some people just think, okay, we're going to bring a carrying case, plop it down in the middle of the living room or somewhere, and have the other dog or cat come and sniff at it. Well, the other dog is inside a carrying case or a kennel or whatever, scared to death. Not a good thing to do. You want them to be as comfortable as possible. Here's another thing that you can do. Establish one bedroom for this new pet, dog or cat, and have them sit quietly and be fed in there. And if it's a cat, put the litter box nearby, but not too close to the food. Animals don't generally like to eat where they go to the bathroom. I know Ruby does not. She has never pooped or peed in this house or any house that we've had her in, which is amazing. When we had her outdoors, the yard was so big that she would do her business way out in the yard, very far from the porch where we fed them. So I know, and I've found out that the breed that she is does not like to relieve themselves where they sleep, where they eat. They have their specific spots that they'll use. So anyways, when you bring home a pet, you should have a place, not just a pen. I do not favor pens for animals at all. I know some people feel that's best for them. Okay, but it's I've never had to use a kennel or a pen for my animals in their home. So then what you might want to do is bring something that the other pet has sat on, laid on, slept with, and put it in that room. So the other animal can sniff it and say, okay, this animal also lives here. They'll be afraid of it for a while, but it's not a threatening thing. It's just something for them to sniff. We did this with one of Ruby's toys, but we didn't really show her, hey, I'm taking your toy in this room and giving it to the babies. No, the babies she didn't know that we had used her toy and just put it down. The babies sniffed at it, and they were like, how cats will do. They'll sniff. And if you have cats, you know how they make those weird faces. They sniff. Like, oh my God. Well, anyways, yeah, you see how, I don't know if it was raining at the beginning. Now it's just barely like sprinkling. So I don't know how they expect floods. Anyways, um, yeah, you want to make sure already that animals are happy, well rested, have eaten. Take up all food dishes in the area so you're not distracting them, and also you're not threatening the owner of the dish. You're not just threatening them like, this is my food, what do you got your nose in it for? um, Try to understand what and think ahead about things. Generally, try to think, well, I don't know how this is going to go, but let's try it out. She was just circling him. It's in her um, personality to herd things and make sure that they're like sheep, little little dogs and cats. She will think that that's part of her job, that she's got to see how she goes. See, she brought him back over here. He came back over here, but she thinks she'd brought him back over here, circling around him. Did you see how she does that when she wants me to go into the closet to get her treat? She says, it's time for my treat. And she'll nudge me toward the closet door because she knows that's where I keep her treats, in the closet. So she'll nudge me from behind to get me to go to the closet. She's so funny. I love this dog. She's been playing. She's been running around out here. I've been throwing that little sock ball for her, and she's been going to get it. You can go inside, I left the window open. You can go inside. You don't want to? That's okay too. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. The reflection on the glass of my glasses makes my eyes look purple. Like I have blue or purple, what's it called? Eyeshadow. Wow. So I'm trying to think if there's any other things. Pretty soon you'll be able to feed the pets. I would not, with Ruby, she likes to eat what everybody else is eating. And what I tried doing is, instead of feeding her in the kitchen at night, I put her bowl down in the dining room so she could still be eating with us. And what I do is, sometimes, I have some dog-friendly food in a little container up at the table with me. And then when she comes to beg, that's what I give her. She's not trying to beg to, be a brat. That's just part of their culture. Animals have cultures too, just like people. And in the wolf culture and dingo culture, they will have the alpha parent who will bring food to the clan, and then they all feed off of that food. So you have to remember that some dogs, this is really like, it's not something that they're just doing to be annoying. They are answering their ancestors' call from deep within. And so understanding that really helps. Your animal is not being a brat. It's not being annoying. It's answering a call from the ancestors. This is what we did centuries ago, centuries and centuries before they became domesticated. Their hunters and alpha and beta of the family and other hunters would bring the food home. Mother dogs would regurgitate the food for the pups, and they would learn to eat from their mom in that way too. So don't scold your pet for coming to the dinner table, because that's what they feel down deep inside what they should be doing. And no matter if you feed them before you get to your food at the table, they're still going to think, this is for us too. This circle, here we're sitting at the table and having food. It's generational upon generational. Okay? You can't stop them from this activity. So the best thing to do is understand the activity, and you don't have to give in by giving them your food, because people food is definitely, it's usually too salty, too spicy, too rich, too sweet, whatever. So have food that is dog appropriate and share some of that with them, because you want them to feel as empowered that they're answering the call of their ancestors. And food is also like a very territorial thing. You can't expect them to share or bond with each other over food like people do. This is my food and I'm sticking with it. Or toys. This is my toy. I don't want them playing with my toy. Ruby is kind of like that. I forgot, she had her toys out in her room the other night, and here comes PJ, and he come into the room, and she immediately got down and put herself between him and the toys, and she kind of gave him a little, ugh, these are mine. So I immediately scooped him up, put him into a box, because if he takes something, it immediately becomes his. See how dogs do? But you have to understand dogs and cats. You have to understand their nature. And don't get upset with them. Just say, okay, you know what? Everything goes into the box, and we put the box away. If you can't play with this, then, eventually I'll let all of the toys be out. So if anybody wants a toy, then they could play with it. But when you're first introducing them, no. Especially treats, chew toys, bones, etc. You don't want them fighting over something that's there. So no food and toys down for them to be fighting over. That's about it. But pretty soon, if you watch your dog's behavior and not just have a dog as a decoration or a sentry guard or whatever, you will learn that your dog has a personality. I like to call it a pawsonality, actually, because they're individuals, just like you and I. And you start to see the look in their eyes, the look in their face, the way that they act about certain things. Oh. Pigeon. That's what she's looking at. The pigeon. And the pigeon's looking at her. I used to feed them. I just felt so sorry for them during the winter time. And I shouldn't have, because they're still coming back. And now we don't really want them coming into the yard. The grass is not real, so. Plus, they would leave poops when she's barking at them now. Hey, that's okay. We're not going to bark at one pigeon. Okay? Not even 2 pigeons. Okay, baby? It's all right. Thank you for telling me. Oh, there's a fly now. Get it. Okay, so if you have any questions, I'm not a professional, but I have had pets all of my life, generally. From the time I was about 2, 1 or 2, we had little puppies, and, well, a puppy, a dog. And her and I grew up together for a bit, and then she had puppies. And then my parents gave her away with the puppies and just kept one of her puppies. So basically, I've had all kinds of animals all of my life. I'm not an expert, but I have learned a lot along the way. By mistakes, by studying, and just learning from experience. This is Witch Nikki. Have a wonderful day. And remember, your pet is a living being. Treat it as such. It has memories from their ancestors just like you do. So they're not just being brats. They're acting off of some kind of ancestral pull. Have a great day.